This was supposed to be the moment people in the Northwest could finally breathe. For days, there was cautious optimism spreading across communities that have lived under fear for years. Reports claimed that a notorious bandit kingpin, long blamed for bloodshed across Sokoto and Zamfara, had been eliminated in heavy airstrikes. Camps were said to be destroyed. Commanders reportedly neutralized. For a brief moment, hope crept back into places where hope rarely survives. That hope did not last. Today, reality has arrived in the most brutal way possible. The man many believed was dead is very much alive, and he has just proven it with blood. Not through a speech. Not through a video. But through the public execution of an innocent traditional ruler, carried out in broad daylight as a message to the Nigerian state and to frightened communities watching helplessly. Confirmed reports from Tudunwada in the Sabon Bani area paint a horrifying picture. Armed men linked to the same bandit network rode into the village openly, without resistance. This was not a kidnapping operation. It was not cattle rustling. It was something far more deliberate. They dragged the village head out of his home and beheaded him in front of his people. No warnings. No negotiations. Just terror, carefully staged. This was not random violence. This was retaliation. And that is what makes this moment so dangerous. The timing matters. The location matters. And the target, the village head, matters most of all. By killing the custodian of local authority, this attack sends a chilling message: if leadership can be destroyed so easily, then ordinary people have no protection at all. Even more disturbing is when it happened. Not at night. Not under cover of darkness. This attack happened in the afternoon, when the sun was high and daily life was ongoing. That choice alone tells us everything. This was a display of dominance. A declaration that airstrikes, drones, and fighter jets have not broken control on the ground. Sabon Bani has suffered for years, largely because of its geography. Sitting dangerously close to an international border, it has become a revolving door for armed groups who strike on one side and disappear across the line before any response can arrive. But this attack cuts deeper than geography. It cuts into credibility. Just days earlier, the public was told that air bombardments had dealt a decisive blow. Videos of explosions circulated. Statements suggested success. So how do we explain what happened next? How do armed men move freely into a village less than 48 hours later and conduct a public execution without fear? There are only two realistic explanations, and both are deeply unsettling. The first is that the airstrikes failed to hit their true targets. Intelligence may have been flawed, outdated, or incomplete. If that is the case, then the celebrations were premature, and the enemy was never neutralized in the first place. The second possibility is even more frightening. These fighters may have been acting on standing orders, pre-planned instructions to unleash terror if their camps were attacked. This is a known tactic in asymmetric warfare. When leadership is threatened, sleeper units strike civilians to prove survival and maintain fear. The head of the snake is challenged, and the body lashes out. Either way, the victims are always the same, unprotected villagers. Fear is now spreading fast. Reports from neighboring communities suggest families are packing what little they own and fleeing. Some are heading toward urban centers. Others are crossing borders. They are not waiting for official statements because they have learned, painfully, that statements do not stop bullets. What happened in Tudunwada is likely not the end. It may be the opening move in a renewed campaign of terror designed to pressure authorities into retreating. History shows that when these groups feel challenged but not destroyed, they escalate violence against soft targets. This brings us to the most uncomfortable question of all: how did this happen in an area supposedly under heightened security focus? Special operations have been announced. Troop deployments have been mentioned. Yet armed convoys still move freely. Villages are still exposed. Is this a failure of intelligence? Or something more troubling? Are there gaps in coordination, or are there individuals within the system leaking information before troops arrive? These are not accusations. They are questions forced upon us by repeated outcomes. And the contradictions are impossible to ignore. One day, the public is told a dangerous figure has been eliminated. The next, a traditional ruler is murdered in cold blood. When these narratives collide, trust collapses. People begin to ask, who is telling the truth, and who is managing perception? The tragedy here goes beyond one life lost. It highlights a deeper reality. Airstrikes alone cannot win this war. Bombing forests without securing villages leaves civilians exposed to retaliation. Without permanent, overwhelming ground presence, every so-called victory risks becoming a trigger for more violence. The village head of Tudunwada did not choose this war. Yet he paid the ultimate price for its failures. Unless there is a drastic shift towards sustained ground protection, intelligence accountability, and honest communication, he will not be the last. Authorities are yet to issue a full response. The question remains, will this attack be acknowledged for what it is, or will it be dismissed under familiar phrases that explain nothing and change nothing? One thing is clear. The situation in Sokoto remains volatile. The threat is active. And the people caught in the middle deserve more than temporary headlines and hollow assurances. Stay alert. Stay informed. And above all, remember the people of Tudunwada, because forgetting them is exactly what allows this cycle to continue.